Ladies and gentlemen, we present the Impressionists, a game played by the experts in noises and voices. This week we have Johnny Moore, Dustin G, Joe Longthorne and Clive Lee.
My wife thinks you're terrific.
Which is probably more than she'd say of your chairman, Ray Allen.
Thank you very much. Thank you and welcome to the Impressionists, the program that is often compared with Mastermind, most unfavorably. The music is provided by Ronnie Price and his lads, who've come to us after a very successful run from the Crown and Anchor. And our scorer once again is the lovely Doris Donovan. I asked her what she thought of Red China, and she said,
"It's all right as long as it doesn't clash with the tablecloth."
Well, that'll give you an idea of what sort of show this is going to be. So now it's time to meet the teams. First, here's a man who, if he ever said what he thought, he'd be speechless. Clive Lee.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to say what I think tonight in a Liverpool accent from a comedian called Stan Boardman.
I do like those Germans. No, those Germans that bombed that chip shop. Those Germans are frightened of us, you know. Those Germans, they're even frightened of us, frightened of the Irish. The Irish used to fly across there in the war, in the Wellingtons. All the Germans used to hide under the bed. That's why they call them Jerry's.
With Clive, we have a man who likes to take a bottle of whiskey to bed so that he can sleep tight. It's Joe Longthorne.
We'll spring again, we'll sing again. I want to tell you a story. The other day, my son Anthony came home. He said, "Dad," I said, "What, son?" He said, "About the flowers in the garden, the tulips, what are we to do about the compost?" I said, "Well, son, what are you going to do? You're going to get a hamster, boil it for 3 hours in some sugar, and then sprinkle it all over the garden. It'll look lovely." He said, "Well, Dad, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, when it's spring again, they'll sing again. Tulips from Amsterdam."
Now, the opposing team is led, and there's nothing heavier than lead, by a man whose life changed dramatically with the advent of television. An entirely new field of unemployment opened up for him. It's Johnny Moore.
It's very hard picking impressions these days of modern actors. Take, for instance, Charles Bronson. You say, "Oh, who's Charles Bronson?" I love those vacant looks on your face. No, Charles Bronson was in Death Wish and the Magnificent Seven. You know, he's the one that looks as if a load of Chelsea supporters have been kicking his face, you know. Mind you, they'd have a job on, because I've seen him fight 75 fellas in a film and he beat them all, you know. But have you noticed, Charles Bronson never moves his lips. He goes, "You killed my brother." And now I'm gonna kill you. Actually, Roger De Courcy moves his lips more than Charles Bronson.
Helping Johnny Moore out, if you see what I mean, is the man who, when he was asked to give Ronnie Price a warm hand, set fire to his gloves. It's Dustin G.
Thank you, Ray. I didn't know who to start with, so I thought I'd dig up this week Leonard Rossiter again, but I thought I'd do him with a little song. It means nothing to me. Oh, Vienna. Do you know, I love the cat, but I love Miss Jones. My God, do I love her. You should have seen her last night. You'd have sworn it was Joan Collins. Yes, she had Cinzano all down the front of her frock. Oh, yes, but she can drink gallons of it, you know. She drinks gallons of it. She drank gallons last night. When she ate peanuts, you could hear them splashing. And, of course, Miss Jones is a striking beauty. Well, she slapped me twice. But, do you know, when God made her, he broke the mold. She has that kind of a profile that goes all the way down. What legs, what legs. She has calves that only a cow could love.
Yes, I sent her a Valentine card, you know. It said, I love you, almighty. I wish your pajamas were next to my nightie. Yeah, because she arouses in me a passion it can't be quenched. It's equal to great love affairs of all time, you know. Anthony and Cleopatra, Romeo and Juliet, Russell Harty and Russell Harty. And yes. Miss Jones, I love you. Though you treat me like dirt, you are my desire. My heart is on fire and it's burning a hole in my shirt.
Thank you very much, Dustin. Now, continuing with our massed choir round, I am going to attempt something which has never been done on a quiz show before. I'm going to set our team some voices to do, but instead of just asking them, I'm going to sing to them. As I ask the Ronnie Price Trio to lead me into Old MacDonald Had a Show. And the first to go will be Johnny Moore. Old MacDonald had a show, E-I-E-I-O. And on that show he had Eric Morecambe, E-I-E-I-O. With a...
What do you think of the show so far?
Here
Is he allowed to say that?
There
Hello, Sammy.
Everywhere
Yay!
Old MacDonald had a show, E-I-E-I-O. And now, we're going to hear from Joe Longthorne. Old MacDonald had a show, E-I-E-I-O. And on that show he had Tom Jones, E-I-E-I-O. With a...
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Here
The green grass of home.
There
Yucky da.
Everywhere
Hello, my love, what's your name?
Old MacDonald had a show, E-I-E-I-O. And the next voice you will hear is that of Clive Lee. Now, Old MacDonald had a show, E-I-E-I-O. And on that show he had John Wayne, E-I-E-I-O. With a...
Let your wagons in a circle.
Here
Head up your horse and drink your milk.
There
Don't get 'em, Floyd.
Everywhere
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
Old MacDonald had a show, E-I-E-I-O. And finally, we hear from Dustin G. Now, Old MacDonald had a show, E-I-E-I-O. And on that show, he had Cilla Black, E-I-E-I-O. With a...
Step inside, folks.
Here
Oh, you are a mocking kid.
There
Do you know who I am?
Everywhere
Tracy in Liverpool.
Old MacDonald had a show, E-I-E-I-O. And now we're going to put the whole thing together with the entire company. Now Old MacDonald closed his show, E-I-E-I-O. 'Cause all those people had to go, E-I-E-I-O. With a...
Way!
Here and a...
Boyo.
And there a...
Reach.
Here a...
Try.
Everywhere a...
Rubbish!
Old MacDonald had a show. E-I-E-I-O. So I'm still in the lead. Now, you may have noticed that Ronnie Price put his heart and soul into that last number. It's a pity he didn't put some music in. Now, we're going to give Ronnie Price another chance now, because he's going to play a tune to each team member, which I'd like them to name, and then having done so, I'd like an impersonation of someone who might be associated with it. So here's the first one, and this is for Joe Longthorne.
Good evening. My name is Johnny Mathis. It's so wonderful to be with you. I feel so terrific this evening. I really do. I'd like to sing you, if I may, two of my greatest songs, really beautiful numbers for you all, for the ladies in the room tonight. It goes like this. Love at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove. I'm too misty and too much in love. A ray of hope flickers all around, must come true sometime soon, somehow. For a spell or two, no one seems to know this comes to pass when a child is born. This comes to pass when a child is born. I mean born, I mean born, I mean born.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Joe. That was marvellous. And now for Clive Lee, we have something of a spiritual experience.
Blow, Gabriel, blow.
Yes, yes.
I only know one Gabriel. Welcome, Radio 4 listeners. Walter Gabriel, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hello, me opa, me beauty, hello. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, no, we've been having trouble in Ambridge. Oh, yes, you know it. Oh, Tom Forrester, the gamekeeper. You know Tom Forrester, he cornered and trapped a hyena. Yeah, hyena. Took it home, boiled it, and made himself a laughingstock. Oh, yeah.
And now for Johnny Moore, we have this tune.
I know the tune, it's How Wonderful to Know.
That's right.
The only thing I can connect that to is Pearl Carr and Teddy Johnson.
Which one are you going to do?
Pearl Carr, I can't get his voice right. I thought the way out of it because I happen to know that the writer of the English lyrics of this song was called Kermit Goel.
That's right.
So I'll do an impression of Kermit.
Memories like the corners of my mind, misty watercolored memories of the way we were. Could it be? It was all so simple then. Or has time rewritten every line, my little froggy friend? And if we had the chance to do it all again, tell me now honestly, would we? Could we? Of course we could. Memories may be beautiful and yeah, what's too painful to remember? Oh yes, we simply choose to forget. Oh, you're so lovable. So is the laughter. Hang on, Miss Piggy. We will remember. Keep your hands up, me. Whenever we remember. Oh, listen to that. The way we were. Oh, Kermit, may I just say, my little love, and if only
the years I've known you, your voice hasn't changed a bit.
Gee, thank you, Miss Piggy. It's nice of you to say that.
He thinks that's a compliment.
Anyway, Miss Piggy, I'd like to say I really like your dress.
You do? Well, thank you. It's backless, you know.
Oh, I see you're Danish.
When this little green creep starts making remarks about me.
I'm sorry, Miss Piggy. No, really, you know, Miss Piggy, I really admire you. I really dig you the most. I think you're great. I think you're a very warm and beautiful and wonderful person. And you know something, Miss Piggy?
What?
Really and truly, I'm in love with you.
Oh, I can understand that.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad, Miss Piggy, because, well, I could never marry you.
Oh, tell me why?
I'm Jewish.
May I say, Ray, that was an absolutely wonderful, wonderful impression of Miss Piggy. You did it absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, after that, I feel like... I really... No, because the throat's gone now. Anyway, I'll have a gargle, hang on. Oh, it's better. Now, the last tune... The last tune in this round goes to Dustin G.
Yes, indeed, I know that, Ray.
It is Monty Python's theme. But I could, of course, adapt it to Fawlty Towers. Very easily.
I'm sure
very
you
easily.
could, yes.
Yes, is that all right then?
Oh, why not?
Right then, shut up. Right, that's it. Come on, let's have you out. Come on, everybody out. Come on. Look, we want this place cleared. Right, that's it. Right. Welcome all of you then to London's home for the mentally bewildered. Right. Manuel. No, he's obvious. Sybil. Well, she's obviously not here, so I suppose I can tell you. Last night, for the first time in 24 years of marriage, Sybil and I were sexually compatible. We both had a headache. I said to her, Sybil, rancorous Quaffordale sow, I'm going to take you out, make you enjoy yourself. I took her out to lunch today, it was absolutely ruined. We had lobster, it was off. I said to the waiter, this lobster is off. He said, no, sir, it's fresh. I said, don't you give me any of your Nancy boy waiter chatter. Smell it. He said, I don't need to smell it. I said, smell it. He said, I don't need to smell it. That lobster walked from the sea onto your table, onto your plate. I said, well, in that case, it must have trodden in something on the way. Well, that's it. Thank you. Come on, clear off.
Well, now you'll be delighted to hear it's the last round. Now, we're going to ask each member of the team to perform a spoken intro to a song by their teammate, and the first to go will be Joe Longthorne as Barry Manilow with an introduction for a song by Clive Lee.
Oh my God, folks, it's so wonderful to be with you. I feel so terrific, you'll never believe it. It's so wonderful to be with you, gobble-lubba, flubba-lubba weed. Yeah, no, it's so wonderful, it really is so terrific. Hi, England, it's lovely to be back, ladies and gentlemen. It's so wonderful, it really is so super. I'd like to introduce you on a show now to a singer, ladies and gentlemen, a great entertainer, a great impressionist who's going to do an impression of the one and only Mr. Joe Brown. Would you please welcome the one and only equally fabulous, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the one and only Mr. Clive Lee.
In a night there are sights to be seen. Stars like jewels on a crown of our queen. But the only sight I want of you is that wonderful picture of you. It was last summer I fell in love. My heart told me what to do. I saw you there on a crest of an hill, and I took a little picture of you. And you were gone like a dream in the night. With you went my heart, my love, and my life. I didn't know your name, what could I do? But I still see that picture of you. Oh yeah, that wonderful picture of you. Oh, mate.
Thank you very much. That's lovely, Clive. And now we have an introduction from Johnny Moore for a song by Dustin G. Here's Johnny.
Hi, my name's George Burns. I'm at an age when you could say I'm mature. Or mellow. Or even overripe. Now, my friend who was 96 just had a pacemaker fixed to his heart. And every time the mate bends down in a short skirt, the garage door opens. A couple of nights ago, I was in a hotel lobby. Beautiful girl with green eyes came over to me and said, come up to my room for a coffee. She was winking and flashing her eyes. I said, why are you winking? She said, that means go, go, go. Imagine how I felt. I'm on a green light, and I've run out of petrol. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one English performer who hasn't run out of petrol, Arthur Askey. And here to do an impression of him singing The Worm, Mr. Dustin G.
I am a sweet little wriggling worm, covered with mud from head to stern, passing the time from night till morn, leaving little casts in the middle of the lawn. Just an ordinary little worm, squiggle, 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 squirm, squirm, squirm. Pretty little song, isn't it? I am a sleek little wriggling worm, haven't any hair so I don't need a perm, but someday it will be my fate, sitting on a pin as a small boy's bait. That's the end of every little worm. Squiggle, 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 squirm, squirm, squirm. Adios.
Well,
I'll do that one again.
Thank you very much, Dustin. Now, that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for this edition of The Impressionists. And you're all sighing with relief out there in the audience. It only remains for me to give you the scores, and as always, I'm going to try and give you an impression of somebody who's going to give this scores. Now, this week, I thought instead of telling you who it is, I'm going to let you guess. It's either Kermit the Frog, who you've heard earlier in the show, or is it John McEnroe?
Okay. You called us a show? I said, are you the producer? Excuse me, are you the producer? You call yourself up? Are you going to put this thing out? Are you putting it out? Does he know that's out? Does he know it's going out? What are you, some kind of madman? How did you get your job? Are you some madman? Are you getting this job? You work long? Were you born like you are, or did you have to practice to be an idiot? Did you call that out? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going home. And I got to give a score here. Johnny Moore, Dustin G. 16 points. Not in the States they wouldn't, believe me, not in the States. Clive Lee and Joe Longthorne, all right, yeah? You want to call them? You want to know what they've got? I'll tell you. 15 points, they lost.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it really is time to say goodbye. May I just give this word of advice to any young impressionists who may be listening to the show, and I'm sure there are quite a lot. Keep practicing. Do everything you can as well as you can, because if you don't, you could end up on this program. Goodbye for now.
That was the Impressionists. The teams were Johnny Moore, Dustin G, Joe Longthorne and Clive Lee. Musical impersonations by the Ronnie Price Trio. Your chairman was Ray Allen. The program was compiled and produced by Richard Wilcox.